Have you ever wanted to develop your own embedded systems project but found yourself overwhelmed with complex code and limited resources? Look no further than the ESP-IDF, or the Espressif IoT Development Framework. The ESP-IDF is a free, open-source software development framework that enables developers to create custom firmware for the ESP32 and ESP32S series microcontroller boards. The ESP-IDF is designed to provide a comprehensive set of tools and libraries for developers to build robust and reliable firmware quickly and efficiently. It includes a wide range of features such as low-level hardware control, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, multi-threading, and power management. One of the strengths of the ESP-IDF is its extensive documentation, which provides detailed instructions on how to use the framework and its various components. Now I will guide you through the process of installing the ESP-IDF extension, setting up your development environment, and building and flashing an ESP-IDF project for an Espressif device. First, you'll need to download and install Visual Studio Code. Once installed, you can open the extensions view by clicking on the extension icon in the activity bar on the side of Visual Studio Code or by using the View Extensions command. Next, search for the ESP-IDF extension by typing in related keywords like Espressif, ESP-IDF, ESP32, ESP32S2, etc., and install the extension. To configure the ESP-IDF extension, open the View menu and select Command Palette. Type in Configure ESP-IDF extension and select the ESP-IDF, Configure ESP-IDF extension option. This will open the Setup Wizard window with several options to choose from. Choose the Express Setup mode for the fastest option or use the Use Existing Setup option if you already have ESP-IDF installed. Once you've chosen your setup mode, pick an ESP-IDF version to download, or find ESP-IDF in your system, and the Python executable to create the virtual environment. Next, choose the location for ESP-IDF tools and Python virtual environment. The setup progress status will be shown, displaying ESP-IDF download progress, ESP-IDF tools download and install progress, as well as the creation of a Python virtual environment. If everything is installed correctly, you'll see a message that all settings have been configured, and you can start using the extension. Now that you have the ESP-IDF extension set up, you can create a project. For this tutorial, we'll use the ESP-IDF Get Started's Blink example. Click on the menu option View - Command Palette, and type ESP-IDF, Show Examples Projects, then choose Use Current ESP-IDF. A window will open with a list of projects. Go to the Get Started section and choose the Blink_example. Click on the Create Blink Example Project button. Next, select a container directory where you want to copy the example project. This new project directory will be created and opened in Visual Studio Code. Now that you have configured your project and set the target device, you are ready to build your ESP-IDF project. To build your project, simply click on the Build option located at the bottom of the Visual Studio Code window. This will initiate the build process and you should see the build progress in the output window. Once the build process is complete, you will see a message indicating that the build was successful. Now you are ready to flash your project onto your ESP32 device. To flash your project, connect your ESP32 device to your computer using a USB cable and put it into boot mode by pressing the boot button and plugging in the USB. Then, click on the Flash option located at the bottom of the Visual Studio Code window. This will initiate the flashing process and you should see the progress in the output window. Once the flashing process is complete, you can verify that the application is running on the ESP32 by opening the serial monitor in Visual Studio Code. Now that you have the basics down, you can start exploring more advanced features of the ESP-IDF and experimenting with more complex projects. The ESP-IDF documentation is a great resource for learning more about the various APIs and features available, as well as for troubleshooting any issues you may encounter. That's it for this tutorial. Thanks for listening, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below.